22. Show number 231.
Yeah.
100 off there.
I was ready to correct you on that one.
I appreciate it. There you go. Coming at you live from the Ron Miller Race Cars Hammer Down Racing Report studio. It is the Hammer Down Racing Report, presented by Oakshade Raceway. Live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And you can always listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform on demand, including Spotify, Stitcher. I don't know. What are some of the other big ones? I use Google.
Yeah.
Google Podcasts.
They're all there.
Apple Podcasts, iTunes. I think it's now Apple. Anyways, yeah, we're on all those. Tonight on the show, we will be speaking to Justin Peck, who is currently second in All-Star Circuit of Champion points, and picked up 2 of 3 events for the All-Stars this past weekend, one at I-96 on Friday, second at Wayne County on Saturday, and then picked up the win at Waynesfield on Sunday.
It's going to be interesting to talk to him because he's not exactly a household name, so be interesting to see where he came from. And
I did some prep. He's got an interesting background.
2 out of 3 is pretty cool.
Yeah. Also on the show, we'll be speaking with Caleb Griffith, who picked up the win Friday night at Attica in the 410 sprints. Also 2014 410 sprint track champion there as well. And Ryan Weekman will join us a little bit later with our weekend weather pit stop, which is a little complicated. Again.
Yeah.
Seem to be we're in a bad pattern. Thanks to Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meets racing on Saturday.
It's going to be tough for Ryan to get good reviews.
Yes. Please don't review our show based on his performance, by the way. Follow Oakshade Raceway on social media or visit oakshaderaceway.com. Bill Reckner Memorial, scheduled to try to get the season going this Saturday night. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. Full show, late models, sportsmen, Dominator Super Stocks, and
compacts.
Compacts. So fingers crossed the weather cooperates for us for this weekend. The first 3 weeks have Mother Nature is not a racing bad. She knows there's a tire situation, and she's trying to do her part to help out with that.
Right.
If you don't race, you don't use up tires.
That's it. If you're not using tires, you ain't no sense in buying them.
Check out Dominator Race Products, new aluminum body washers at DominatorRaceProducts.com. They have body components and much more for dirt, late models, modified sprint cars, and street stocks, and more. DominatorRaceProducts.com. Call them, 419-923-6970. You having some issues there?
Keep talking. I'll tell you if you're working.
Okay. I think John was having some issues last week when he was in your seat last week when you were on the road. Contact freeze frame photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to
Scott.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, the new gold one works great.
Well, that came with the little box, so
I can turn the volume down a little now.
All right, good. Now I lost my place there. From action shots to victory lane, they have all your favorite drivers. Also, they do special photo shoots by appointment. Freeze frame photos, special moments frozen in time. Call Charlie, 419-476-9976, and check out their custom calendars and other fun
if you want to
that they have.
If you want to,
and he's been going to all these other tracks because Oakshade's been rained out, and he's the track photographer there. So
right, if you want to propose to your girlfriend on the front stretch, just let him know ahead of time, and he could video it.
Oh, okay. That's where you're going with that. I thought that he was the guy to talk to for that. I was like, oh, okay.
No.
Fun times. All right. Well, how about we ring up Justin Peck here after we thank also Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars as well for sponsoring the program. We'll be giving away some Big D's Pizza a little bit later on tonight.
Nice beard you got going, Scott.
It's my playoff beard.
Yeah.
Walleye back in action tomorrow night. Game 1 of the conference finals, I believe it is.
This series going to be a little tougher?
I know nothing about Utah, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'll find out. I'll have to listen to my hockey podcast, my minor league hockey podcast. I don't know what that is. I'll have to find one. I know they were talking about starting one when I was working at the radio stations. I think they had one, but I don't know what happened to it. So we'll find out. Justin Peck over from...
Hello.
Hi, is this Justin?
Yes, sir.
Justin, it's Scott Hammer, Ron Miller. It's the Hammer Down Racing Report. How's it going?
Good. How are you, man?
Pretty
Wonderful.
good.
Good evening.
First, I wanted to start off by congratulating you on your 2 wins this past weekend at I-96 on Friday night and Waynesfield on Sunday.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it was a good weekend, to say the least.
Second Saturday night at Wayne County. In your racing career so far, I know you've accomplished a lot in different things, but how does this weekend rank up there?
It's pretty cool. We kind of feel like we could have been doing that all year. It's just, stuff kind of hadn't really panned our way, you know what I mean? Or it seemed like car was on and I was off, or I was on and the car was a little off. So, we've had the speed, just haven't necessarily been able to park in victory lane. So I think, I think this week ranks up there just for the fact that, I think that's just kind of the mark for the season of putting it all together. I think we're going to, pick off a couple more wins here in the next coming weeks. Our motor program's pretty stout right now. Car's on, man, and I feel like I'm just, I feel like I'm making good decisions on the racetrack. So I think it's just all going to add up to more wins.
Now, did you make any changes to the car before this weekend, or was it maybe changes to the driver's mindset? What was different about this weekend?
Well, a couple things. I mean, we put a new car together for 2 weeks ago, and then we ran it those 2 nights, all-star stuff. I think we were at Lernerville, Sharon. The following weekend, I was supposed to go to Eldora, canceled. So really, we pretty much had a fresh car going into this weekend. Russ over at RPM Chassis, he builds awesome race cars. So it's, you put a new one of those together. It's like putting on a new ball club. You know what I mean? You feel like you can make more plays, feel like you can race the car a little bit harder. So, I think a little bit of that, making better decisions. It seemed all click. We had the car capable of doing that, doing that extra tenth that it takes to run, the difference between running second and first. I felt like I was capable of making those kind of decisions and making those moves. So just, like I said, it all just kind of worked together.
With rain through the area, were those both Hammer Down racetracks last weekend?
No, it's, I-96 was honestly a little different than I'd seen it. Usually it seems a little bit heavier when we go there. So we were able to kind of hustle it a little bit more, track out a little bit wider, and bottom kind of went away, towards the end of the feature. So, got really wild. Was able to hammer down on the top, and that's kind of how we won the first night. Even at Wayne County, man, it was dirty, kind of dusty, slick. So, I was able to put a good night together there. We go to Waynesfield. It's, typical Waynesfield. It's slick all the way bottom to top, big curve to go run around on the top. So, it was a lot of fun, man. I love going to those racetracks. It's, that's one of the weekends you look forward to.
I was going to say a lot of sprint car drivers that we've spoke to over the years on this show have stated how much they love Waynesfield. What is it about that track that the drivers like?
Man, it's just racy. It's a little, it's a little bull ring. It's got high banks. It just gets real wide and slick. You normally got a big top to go run, and even when the top's not there, it's just racy all the way around. It's it's one of those dudes you can kind of get up on the bank and get a little momentum going, but the bottom, that's what guys do most of the night. So the bottom usually comes in there late in the night, pretty heavy bottom when everything else is slick. So you kind of got your choice of what you want to do. It's just, I think it's just more of a driver's racetrack.
Now, does winning there, does that help make you like a track if it's a track you've won at?
What's that?
I say if you've won at that track, does that also factor into how well you like the track?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? It's always nice to go win at a joint, but for me, it's one of those tracks. Like, I went there a handful of times and we didn't do shit. So it's just one of those joints, man. I think you can make up for a mistake, and it's one of those joints that if you're on all night, you can really put a hurting on some guys. I think that's why most guys like it. I went there a couple times, like I said, got my butt kicked, and then when I was still running for my dad, we were fortunate enough to win one of those deals. So every time we go back, it's just kind of a special deal. It's, like I said, it's a racy joint, but I guess since I did win there with my dad, it kind of makes it that little extra special.
Yep. So you're second in points now with the All-Stars. How do you feel about
I really?
Yeah. How do you feel about your chances of winning that championship? Newsflash there for you.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but I try not to look at that shit. You know what I mean? It's just, it's for our deal with Ohio Speed Week, and then the All-Stars going to Knoxville, and we don't go there throughout the year, and it's that week, those couple weeks are leading into 3-station nationals and 410 nationals. I think if you can get through those deals pretty good. If we're still sitting, really close to first or on top of the board, I'll feel pretty good about my chances. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not too worried about it at this point in time. Man, I'm just worried about winning races, and if we can get through Speed Week on, pretty high up there on top of the board, I feel like we got a pretty good shot. But just as far as from a speed standpoint, I feel like we've got a good shot. The points kind of come down to one of those deals. I might have 2-3 DNFs. Somebody else might not, or vice versa. I might only have one DNF versus the guy 3 or 4, and that's kind of what can really sway the points. So it just, like I said, I'm more so worried about winning races. But from a speed standpoint, I know we got the capability of doing it. It's just a matter of how the cards fall.
I've been doing this a long time, so you can almost depend on at least one DNF.
Yeah, that's it's like last year I was I got a concussion about this time last year, Wecker Memorial Weekend, so right before Ohio Speed Weekend. The following week after that Weicker deal was 4 races, or 1 race in Illinois, 3 races in Wisconsin, kind of the weekend we're going into. So those are tracks I look forward to going into, and unfortunately that's kind of what put ourselves out of the championship. Even when I came back, after that deal, I really wasn't 100%. Still was able to get second in the Owners' Championship, but we weren't really close. We were a couple races out of contention for the deal. So I think if we can just stay healthy and keep Motor Park getting together, like I said, I think that's a huge deal, and why we're running well right now. Not necessarily we got power; it's just we got drivability, and I think that's a huge deal.
At the beginning of the season, was it your goal to run for the All-Star Championship?
Yeah, that's what we set out to do last year. When I got with Tom Booth, that's kind of was our deal. We were going to do 2 years. We said we did a 2-year deal, and we were going for the All-Star Championship. So we knew what our goals were going into the year. Obviously we want to win crown jewels. You want to win races outside of that, but ultimate goal, when we reflect on the season, it's if we won a championship or not, if we had a good year.
Again, we're talking to Justin Peck, and looking back, I guess, earlier in your career, 2010, you were running on asphalt in a midget and actually became the youngest Kenyan midget winner in history. How did you get from that to where you are now?
A lot of ups and downs. It's, we went from the quarter midget deal. It was me and Pops, we were running quarter midgets. And we went to graduated into the dirt micro stuff and 600cc stuff around Indiana. And it just kind of came about, man. A friend of mine, Eric Congan, who at that time owned the Pit Stop Barbecue and Grill there in Brownsburg. He had a kid that was racing, and he was going off to college, and he was running, the Kenyan midget stuff at the time, and he was getting into the pavement midget stuff back when it was still kind of popular. And he had a car sitting there, so it was just one of those deals. We were friends with him, and he said, "Hey, I got this car here. You guys, maintain it, take it to the racetrack, stuff like that. You guys can run it if you want." And so we put a little schedule together of kind of a mixed deal. Running the micro stuff, running the midget, the Kenyan midget stuff, and we ended up doing 2 years of that, and none of it was ever full time in the series, but we ran quite a majority of it. We were able to pick off a couple wins.
And in 2012, you actually ran a couple of JEG CRA All-Star late model races, right?
Yeah, so that was another deal. It was one of my dad's buddies. So my dad was a pavement late model racer. That's what he did before I came about, started racing, doing my deal. So he had a couple buddies there in the Ohio area. A guy named Tommy Simpson out of Columbus, Ohio. I think he was out of Columbus. Anyway, he had a car. He had a car sitting there, and he was buddies with my dad. Same kind of deal. You guys maintain it or whatever. You guys can go run it. So we put a couple of deals together, and honestly, I thought it was boring. At that time I was running the micro stuff and running some of the Kenyan midget deal, and we decided I was at that year. I was 13 at that time, so I was running the micro stuff, power at micros full time, and I was doing a couple JEGS All-Star Tour races, and then I just was like, I'm done with that. We went midget racing. We were at that stepping stone where it was like time to move on for the micro stuff. And that was kind of our route. We were either going to go pavement late model racing or dirt midget race, and then we decided to go dirt midget racing.
Now, was it the cars or was it the asphalt versus dirt that helped with that decision?
No, it was kind of the cars. It didn't feel like we were going fast, and it wasn't as fun, going straight. And all of my quarter midget career, I was a pavement guy, and then went into the dirt micro. So really, I hadn't done anything on dirt other than dirt micro stuff at that time, and it was more fun. The open wheel stuff just was more exciting. It was more action packed and fast paced, and that's kind of my style. And that's kind of the route. That's kind of was the ultimate factor on why we went the dirt route.
And it's taking you to some good places, and it looks like you're on your way to some success. Unless you talk to Ron here, he was pessimistic about the DNFs all the time, but
they're just a fact of life. Something's going to break at the worst possible time.
You've run at a bunch of different tracks. What's your favorite place to race at?
Kokomo Speedway all day, man. I'm from Indianapolis. I got to say Kokomo Speedway.
Okay. Just because it's close, or any other reasons there? Have you had success?
Well, it's a badass joint, man. I mean, you get up ripping on the fence. You get a good bottom rolling, slick through the middle. Big curb on the fence. I mean, how much better could you get? A little quarter-mile bull ring. It's always action-packed, man. It's fun.
Any chance that our listeners will get to see you at Attica tomorrow?
Oh, he's going to Wisconsin this weekend.
Yeah, I would say I'm already up here in Wisconsin. Tomorrow we got Wilmot Speedway with the All-Stars, Plymouth Speedway Saturday, and then Angel Park Speedway Sunday. All All-Star races.
Yeah. All right.
So what is there an event still coming up that you're looking forward to a lot this season?
Yeah, really all of them. I mean, the big ones, obviously we got Ohio Speed Week coming up, then we got Knoxville, Eldora, Kings Royal. All those stuff I'm looking forward to. I always love when I get the opportunity to go to Lincoln Speedway over in Pennsylvania. That's probably that's in my top 3, top 5 favorite tracks in the country. So that's the one we race on a consistent basis. That's probably my favorite. So I always look forward to going back there.
Do you like racing against the Pennsylvania posse?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. Those fans out there are nuts, dude. They're diehards. I mean, I love it, man. I say they're nuts just for the fact that they're all diehard sprint car fans, man. They're true and true to their boys, but they always seem to try and grow and love and grow the sport. So I got a lot of respect for those guys out there.
They always start their season wearing Carhartts. It's cold when they start, so yeah, it's a big deal over there.
Dude, when we went to the icebreaker last year at Lincoln Speedway, there was freaking snow on the ground, and they had a sold out crowd. I'd never seen anything like that.
Yep, absolutely, true story.
Dude, that was when like I always knew Pennsylvania was big sprint car country until like when I went there and saw that was the when I it solidified in my mind that Pennsylvania sprint car fans was the best in the country.
Now, did they root against you when you're over there in Pennsylvania?
No, I'm driving for Tom Booth. I mean, he's a Pennsylvania-based team. They always seem to show love for us when we go out there. I don't know if it's because when the All-Stars have an off weekend, 8 times out of 10 we're in Pennsylvania. The other 2 times we're with the All-Stars, the Outlaws. But they always seem to like us out there, man. I got a lot of respect for those guys, like I said, and it doesn't hurt that they seem to like our deal going on.
Now, you said you're on the second year of a 2-year deal running with the All-Stars here. What are your plans for next year and looking forward?
We haven't really talked about it 100%. I mean, Tom and I have a pretty good idea of what's going to go on. So it's just a matter of where we end up. I mean, like I said, I don't know, nothing set in stone, nothing here or there, but Tom and I are pretty much on the same page of what we think we need to do, how we're going to grow our race team. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens over the winter.
Sounds good. Something you probably don't know, but a lot of our guests usually go on to win their next race or next couple races after being on our show. So you got that weekend. You're in Wisconsin right now? You're already up there?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah.
High expectations for you.
6,000 to win.
Hey, that's good.
6,000 to win shows. You got Wilmot, Plymouth, and Angel Park. What's your predictions for how well you think you're going to do this weekend? You think you can do as well as last weekend?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that potential. It's going to be tough. I mean, these guys out here that were racing is tough. They're no joke. And then you add in those top guys from the IRA deal. You got a pretty tough race. So it's just a matter of how all the cards play out. I know our stuff's going to be fast. I know I'm going to be honest. So we'll just have to see what the weekend has in store. All
right, Justin. Well, we appreciate the time, and good luck this weekend.
Yep, I appreciate it, fellas. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yep. We'll see you.
Make us proud.
Yep, take care.
All right, bye. There you go, Justin Peck, second in points. Apparently, newsflash for him. He didn't really. Second in points with the All-Stars after his very successful weekend.
Yeah.
2 wins and a second place finish, and going in for 1,800 possible, or 18,000 up for grabs.
For the 3 days.
6,000 each night. Yeah, over there in Wisconsin. So good luck to him. Coming up in a little bit, we'll be talking to Caleb Griffith, 410 feature winner at Attica and 2014 track champion there. Yeah, a little bit later. John Ivy says gas on the right. Yeah, that's good. I did have a lot of questions about where the gas pedal was in the race car.
Really?
Yeah, I had my car at the Touch a Truck thing last weekend. Yeah.
Gas
Is that
pedals-
one in the middle? Is that the gas pedal? I'm like, no, it's like a regular car. Gas pedal's on the right.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's knock out some racing roundup, some action from last weekend. As we just mentioned, Friday night at Attica Raceway Park, Caleb Griffith was the winner of the 410 sprints. Matt Foose picked up the win in the 305s. Ryan Missler, sporting his shirt tonight.
Oh, there you go.
That's why I was wearing his shirt. He picked up the late model win over there at Attica on Friday night. Actually, it was the Attica Oakshade Late Model Series event, too.
Right.
Also Friday night, Limaland, Bryce Massengill won the Thunder Midget feature event, the Striker Memorial, I believe it was. Jeff Kaz was the winner in the modifieds, and our very own Craig Dittman picked up the Thunderstock feature win there.
Newsflash.
Uh-oh.
Craig Dittman should be racing at Toledo Speedway on
knew that.
Sunday.
I wasn't sure if he was going to be in the car. He told
Yes.
me he bought an asphalt car because
Yes, he did.
Because why? Because he doesn't have enough cars.
Because he could, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing anything Sunday, head over for Toledo Speedway and watch Craig.
And speaking of T-shirts, show off your T-shirt there, Ron.
That mean I have to stand
Well,
up.
here we go. Thanks to Mr. Nylander for sending us.
I don't know if it was Mr. Nylander.
Mrs.
I'm sure it was Heather.
Okay.
But some really cool T-shirts for both of us.
Oh,
And
yeah,
some
we got
stickers.
Yeah, we're going to decorate the studio, our new studio table over there. So thanks to them. All of our guests we have on, you don't have to be from Australia to do that, but feel free to send us stuff. You know?
No, it actually took a little longer than I thought. But
I'd forgotten about it.
yeah, see?
Totally, yeah.
That's because it was held up in the post.
Saturday night, Oakshade Raceway, unfortunately was rained out. Had a nice downpour just as I was getting ready to head out there. I think it was about 3 o'clock. They pulled the plug, unfortunately.
Yeah, my son Steve he'd been gone about 15 minutes, and when they
He had
turned
already
around,
left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was being a little more cautious.
I had just texted Pam, said, how's the weather looking out there? Because it didn't look good on the radar.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, I got a text from Chrissy saying we're canceled. I was like, all right, well, that sucks.
Put this up on the website.
Yeah. Then I had to hurry up and unload my car before it started raining here. Sandusky Speedway was in action Saturday night. They had double features. Clayton Oliver picked up both the Renegade feature wins.
Ooh.
And Don Boron won both Pure Stock features. So, yeah. I think they need to put them at the back or something. Put a bounty on them.
If any of the Sandusky guys are looking for the Towel City tires, we've got a good inventory of them right now.
Ron Miller Race Cars. There you go.
That's it.
Also in action Saturday night, Fremont Speedway. Cole Macedo picking up the victory there in the 410 sprints. He actually plugged a hole in his tire during a red flag.
Ooh.
I believe what I read was it took like 3 of those repair kit plug things, because if they changed the tire, then he would have had to go to the rear.
tail.
Yeah, so that way they maintained his position. They found the leak under the red flag, plugged the hole. I'm guessing they probably put a little more air in there, and he was good to go. Pretty cool there, though.
Yeah.
Sean Valeni, he picked up the win in 305s, and as far as I know, Jeff Babcock was the winner in the dirt trucks. I did see some
Or not.
comments going around about some disqualifications, but I could not verify any of those through official channels, so I can only say that those are
the points that they have posted on the Fremont website indicate that Jeff Babcock did not win and Dave Gumby did not finish third.
Okay, well, I reached out to Brian Lisky and I did not get a response. So like I said,
I reached out to 2 or 3 people from Fremont, and I didn't get a response.
Maybe they don't know.
Or they don't want to say.
Or they don't know. They haven't decided yet. I don't know. Montpelier Speedway, they were in action Saturday night. Zeke McKenzie picked up the modified win. Garrett Bradley was a Super Stocks winner. Dustin Markham picked up the Street Stock feature win, and Josh Gamlin was the winner in the Hornets. Flat Rock Speedway also in action. With all the rain on Saturday, it seemed to be targeted right on Oakshade, but all the other tracks
Well, it seemed as though the tracks north of area.
It was a very isolated deal, although it did look like it was threatening Fremont there for a while.
They got a little bit of rain.
Did they?
Which I think probably is why the track records fell in so many divisions there.
Fast track that night. Flat Rock Speedway, Saturday, Eric Lee picked up the late model feature win. Ron Allen was the Street Stock A main feature winner. Taylor Papineau won the B mains for the Street Stocks, and Jeremy Vanderhoof picked up the figure 8 feature win.
Any word on how Ken Schrader did there?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I probably could have looked. I forgot he was actually running.
Maybe one of our...
maybe Dave can... we'll stick Mr. Dave Kimmer on that. Dave Kimmer let us know how Ken Schrader did, because he ran the late models and Street Stocks, I believe, at Flat Rock on Saturday night. Sunday, the only result I got was A.J. Padgett winning the school bus figure 8, so Ken Schrader did not win that. Again, I don't think he's ever won one yet.
No, not yet.
He's competed, but yeah. Again, if you're, I know Gilbert says there's a 70% chance of rain this weekend. We will have the weekend weather pit stop coming up a little bit later with Ryan Weekman. He's a little bit of an expert on that. It's kind of what he does. Waynesfield Raceway Park was in action Sunday as well. Justin Peck, who we just spoke with, I wrote Just Peck.
Okay.
Justin Peck picked up the All-Star Circuit of Champions 410 Sprint feature win. Sunday at Waynesfield, Todd Sherman was the winner in the modifieds. All-Star Circuit of Champions also in action, as we mentioned. Friday night at 996, Justin Peck picking up the win there. Saturday it was Hunter Schurenberg who picked up the win over at Wayne County Speedway, with Peck's finishing second there.
Charlie Orns said that Schrader was 4th in the late model feature and 6th in the street stock feature.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car action at Williams Grove. Friday night was rained out. Saturday night, they did get that show in, and Brett Marks picked up the win. On Tuesday, they were at Bridgeport Motorsports Park, and I think I watched the end of that. Sheldon Haudenschild traded slide jobs with Kyle Larson there at the end, and Larson faded the last few laps, and Haudenschild went on to pick up the win. So it's like Larson's human.
Barely.
The NTT IndyCar Series was in action Saturday for the Indy Grand Prix. I did watch a little bit of that, too. After I unloaded the car, I was like, look, it's raining in Indy.
Oh, yeah.
And, they were racing in the rain, and that does make a interesting thing where they have to change or decide which tires to run, because there was a lot of people spinning out and choosing the wrong tires, and tires, when they put on the rain tires and it was dry, it looked like the tires that I used at Sandusky on New Year's Day, or the hangover race, which wasn't on New Year's Day, but yeah. Colton Herta ended up picking up the win there.
Okay.
In NASCAR action, Kurt Busch picked up the win in the Advent Health 400 at Kansas Speedway. And then Saturday night, Zane Smith won the Heart of America 200 at Kansas Speedway. It was his third win of the season.
Once again, showing that Kyle Larson is human.
Yeah. But in some other notes here, Kyle Larson dominated night 2 of the Colossal 100 on last Thursday at the dirt track at Charlotte. Friday night was rained out. Chris Madden won on Saturday, banking the $50,000 top prize for the Colossal 100. Dennis Erb Jr. took the victory on Thursday night's Castrol Flow Racing Night in America last Thursday at Lincoln Speedway. Tyler Erb took the victory on Friday night, which was a Mars Racing Series late model event at Farmer City. Bobby Pierce held off Brandon Shepard to win Saturday's spring shootout for the Mars Racing Series late models at Fairbury Speedway. Shepard's second place finish, though, was good enough to take the Illinois Speed Weeks championship. And I did watch this last night, the Kestrel Flow Racing Night in America from Marshalltown Speedway in Iowa. I never saw that track before. It looked like a fun track.
Yeah.
Real thin cushion, though, right up around the edge.
Right at the fence?
I forget who it was. One of them jumped the cushion, and he went over top and rolled.
Probably Bobby Pierce.
No, it was not Bobby Pierce.
Oh.
Can't remember who it was. But
he's known for trying to knock down walls.
There was no wall around the. It was the only wall they had was like around the front stretch there. But Hudson O'Neill picked up the win last night over there in Marshalltown Speedway in Iowa. Thanks to Big D's Pizza, subs, ribs, chicken, and more in Clyde, Ohio. We'll be giving away some Big D's Pizza here in a little bit. Call 419-547-1444. I did see a note on their Facebook that due to the gas prices, their delivery charge is going to go up a little bit starting the 23rd, I believe. So is that Monday? I think that's Monday.
Monday, yeah.
So order a lot of pizza, get it delivered this weekend. Take advantage of the current delivery price.
Both Dave Kemmer and Steve Miller said it was Ricky
Thornton. Okay, that's right. Yes, Ricky Thornton Jr. He was fine, by the way. He got out.
RTJ.
Yes. Oh yeah, check out the new pizza burger over there. Topped with pizza sauce, pizza cheese, pepperoni on a toasted bun. It's a burger.
I think I need a couple of those.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm interested to try one of those. Also, don't forget to give Ron Miller Race Cars a call, 734-856-7223. He's got race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, everything a racer needs. Coming up in a little bit, we'll be speaking with Caleb Griffith. We'll see if he may join us with video here. He's supposed to connect with us about 7:40, so
try.
About 7 minutes from now, yeah. And if not, we'll be giving him a call. So we'll bust out some racing news before we get to that. Hunter Rich has received the lifetime bans from several tracks after attacking a track official at Wartburg Speedway a few weeks back. Remember that?
Yep,
we showed the video. I don't think I still have the video on here. I should have uploaded that again. Anyways, I got an update from one of our listeners.
Okay.
Who was a little more familiar with the situation. Chris Slater, one of our listeners, had a little more of the backstory on this, and it seems the week before the incident that where we saw the video, the track official had ripped the shocks out of the car when he was towed the week before in some other incident. Which then I got to thinking, well, maybe this guy's wrecking. He shouldn't wreck every week. Maybe that's a problem. But anyways, so he was mad at the track official for ripping the shocks out from the week before.
Tow truck driver, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Track official, tow truck driver, whatever.
Okay.
So the week of the incident, Hunter kindly asked I'm sure it was kindly asked the same official to find someone else to tow his car because he wasn't going to let the same guy tow it again. And that's when things started to get heated between the two. And the big guy that we saw that was running
came charging
down the track and jumped over the car.
Yep.
That apparently was Hunter's father.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Which I think he got the best part of that video. Jumped over the front of that car. It looked painful, though, when he landed.
Big dude.
Yeah. So a little bit of the backstory of that incident from a few weeks. And if you didn't see that, check out our show. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah. Check out our show 2 weeks ago. There's a video of it, too, if you want to watch our Facebook Live. It's on there. Daniel Dye has been reinstated for competition. He was allowed to compete in the ARCA race at Kansas over the weekend after being suspended for the groin punch a few weeks back that we talked about. He's in high school. The high school suspended him and everything, and he was actually charged with felony battery. On Friday, though, the state attorney's office in Volusia County reduced the charges from the felony battery to a misdemeanor battery. Dye wrote
misdemeanor?
Misdemeanor. Yeah, he missed a wiener. That's great.
Okay.
Dye wrote in a lengthy post that the boys were playing a childish game that they have been playing since the 9th grade. They got him, and then he got them back.
I see.
That's a fun game. Hey!
Watch this.
I'm going to punch you in the nuts.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Don't do that.
That's a game I don't think
Don't do it. There's no winners in that.
No.
There's no
Not
winners
at
at
all.
all. That's not a game to play. And you could get a felony battery charge on you.
Yeah.
Which is even worse. So, but I guess he's back.
There was nothing malicious about it. It was just child's play. Is that what you're saying?
Even if it's just in fun and games, it's still malicious.
It hurts.
Yeah. Hurts donut. Remember those from when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Want a Hurts donut? Pff, Hurts donut.
Yeah.
Ashley,
going, Scott.
Ashley Bush filed for divorce as of May 9th, according to TMZ. In the documents, she noted that their marriage was irretrievably broken. In the filing, she also noted that last month, Kurt cut off her access to the joint bank accounts. She further claimed that Kurt is requesting her to leave the Florida home by June. And apparently, I think there was a prenup involved in that. So Kurt's had an interesting weekend himself, picking up the cup win, first win of the season.
Yeah, I was going to say, it must not have broken him up emotionally too horribly bad.
No, it's probably like, he was probably going, I get this money from winning and you don't get to touch it. Kurt Busch issued the following statement. Wait, no, I already said this. Kurt Busch issued the following statement. Upon inquiry by various press outlets today, I'm heartbroken to confirm that my wife, Ashley, and I are working to dissolve our marriage. Divorce is a personal and private matter, and I hope our privacy will be respected. Which, of course, apparently we didn't respect that because we're blabbing it all over. So, apologies to Kurt Busch there on that.
Don't sue us for libel, Kurt.
We didn't say anything not true or malicious.
No, I don't think so.
Still got a couple minutes before we talk to Caleb here. You want to bust out the how many?
Sure.
Play some how many here. Chance to win some Big D's pizza. You do have 30 days to claim your pizza. Last week was how many late models were going to be at Oakshade on Saturday? That ended up being
zip.
Yeah, 0. So Ron, you picked lowest with 28.
Yeah.
You're the winner of the show. Kurt Dickey, surprisingly, was the only one that picked 0. He was the only pessimist.
He was the only
last week.
I was trying to be optimistic. I really wanted to say 0, but nah.
So Kurt Dickey,
I was hoping for the best.
Picks up the win there for how many? He wins a Big D's pizza. Kurt, you have 30 days to claim your pizza. Get with Big D's, Dean Henry, or myself, and we'll hook you up on that. This week's how many? Switch back over to the comments here.
I understand one of our associate producers is headed over there, and he's looking for orders from us.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So you're supposed to message him.
And Caleb is connecting here, so
All
we'll
right.
be talking to him here momentarily. This week's how many 410 sprint cars World of Outlaws are going to be at Attica.
Ooh,
Friday night, tomorrow night.
That could be a biggie.
That could be a biggie. You get to choose first.
36.
Well, I'm going to go with 37 then. So if you would like a chance to win a Big D's pizza, go ahead and put your guess in the comments.
Bring Caleb
of
in.
our
Let's see what
Facebook
he's got
Live.
to say.
All right, we'll bring Caleb in. You think he's got some insight? Hey, Caleb, how's it going?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
Pretty good. We're playing a little game here before we talk to you. How many? And we're trying to guess.
Did you hear our how many?
I did, and I see that he prices righted you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 43.
43. He's going higher than me even. All right.
We'll count that as our in-studio guest.
Sounds good. So anyways, if you want to play, go ahead and put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live. We'll give you until, I think gates open at 3 tomorrow for Attica. So we'll give you till 3 o'clock to get that guess in. So if you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or Spotify or whatever, you can find our Facebook Live or YouTube Live, find the comments, type in just a number, and you're entered to win the Big D's pizza just like that. So without further ado, we have Caleb Griffith with us. That is hard to say. Griffith with us. Congratulations on your win Friday night.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been a little while.
Yeah, 2014 champion. Why has it been a little while? What's taking you so long?
So won the championship in 14 with Al Davis, and then had some success with that team, and then kind of moved on to racing with Ray Marshall there for a couple years in 15 and 16, and won an Attica opener there, won an all-star race up to Butler, and then took a couple years off, bought a house, tried to fix that up, got married, and then in 2019 I started off with Jeff Ward, and coming back, I just remember thinking at the time that this is some of the best equipment I've ever been in, and I was pretty eager for the opportunity. And Attica had changed a lot while I was gone, and I mean really even continues to change a lot with the tires and everything. So that first year we started on the front row, one raced a little bit with Jack Haudenschild, and ended up winning one in 19. But then 20 and 21 were pretty lean years. Most of 2020, the first 5 nights we ran on tires from the year before, and we were really good. I think we finished on the podium 3 of the first 5 nights. And then after that, we looked like we'd never done it before most of the rest of that year. So then last year, we kind of started sneaking up on things, got some things figured out. And by the end of the year, we were decent. So this winter, I felt better than I felt in a couple winters. And lo and behold, had a couple decent runs early and had a good starting spot there. Started on the outside front row the other night, and it's like I was telling one of my buddies, I mean, you start on the front row, anything can go wrong, but it's kind of like going forward on 4th and inches at the goal line. If you don't win it, you kind of look dumb sometimes.
So you feel that you kind of kept that momentum going that you started building up at the end of last season, going into this season?
Yeah, I think to a degree. There's tons of room for improvement at Fremont. We're me more than Mike, the fella that helps us. I'm just not great at that slower, ultra slick finesse style racing. I think I can be. It's just been so long since I've had the right feel in a car to be decent at it. So we after Friday night we talk about what we want to do and kind of put a setup on the car, and then show up Saturday at Fremont. And then it rained for 45 minutes and was bullet fast early in the night.
Hammer down.
Yeah, kind of didn't really learn a whole lot as far as the real slick stuff, but had a decent run going and kind of got caught up in something late there and got the car a little bit dinged up, but mostly got it back together. I'll finish it tomorrow morning, and we'll go see what we've got against the Outlaws.
Didn't hurt the top wing now, did you?
I actually, Friday night at Attica, we get back to the trailer, and Jeff, my car owner, he notices there's a big hole in the hood. So we get to looking, and there's a corresponding hole in the dashboard. Not quite a hole, like a rock hit it, didn't punch all the way through. So we get the hood off and get to looking, and there was a rock. It was kind of a flat rock, but I would say it was end to end, like about as big as a softball is around, laying on the right side valve cover up underneath the throttle linkage. And I said to him at the time, I said, man, we're probably pretty lucky it didn't pin the throttle open. And then I got to thinking about it, and after the race was over, the throttle was not pinned wide open, probably about 15 seconds for the whole feature race. So it probably wasn't a great big deal anyway.
Going back to Friday night, what's going through your mind toward the end of the race there when you got the lap cars right in front of you and Cole Macedo breathing down your neck right behind you?
So I've won a couple and I've lost a couple late at Attica there in more or less exactly the same circumstances. And the thing that I've learned is when you're coming up on lap cars, earlier in the race, it seems like the closing speed is more dramatic, but as the race wears on, it's almost like everybody kind of finds an equilibrium, and it gets real difficult to pass. Like, I think I rode around behind TJ Michael there the last, 5 or 6, maybe 7 laps. And the way he was running, he had no idea I was there, and I thought earlier in the race at one point I had seen Cole on the bottom. Turns out after watching the video, it was actually Brian Smith. He got a heck of a run and drove back up alongside me. But, I hadn't seen anybody really press the issue, so I was just trying to be kind of as calculated as I could about it. There'd been a couple different points in time. I led one late last year and caught some lappers and made it through the first handful pretty good, but got the two people racing side by side with about 3 laps to go, and I slid them 2 for 1, but Chris Andrews was following me. He watched me pull the slider going into turn 1, and he just ripped the cushion and then slid me going into turn 3. So I was trying to, really ease right up on people before I made a move high, low, or, whatever. So that way, if it was a move that didn't work out, you're going to lose some momentum, but at least you wouldn't lose as much track position as if you swung for it from a ways back. So,
leading a race is one of the hardest things you can do.
Well, especially in our particular avenue of the sport, you don't, other than maybe looking at the scoreboard, knowing who started where, that sort of thing. If you don't get any yellows, it's pretty hard to figure out where you're good, where you're not, where they're good, where they're not. And, another dynamic that's weird about Attica is so many times, and I guess I haven't watched the late models enough to see if it happens with them, but so many times in the 305s and the 410s, a race will go, 5 laps short of the distance, 3 laps short of the distance, and they'll have a yellow. And the guy leading, he might have had a straightaway plus. And then, on the restart, somebody will pass him and just drive off. So the other day I'm thinking, as the laps are winding down, I had seen the halfway, and shortly after that was the point where I thought I had seen Cole. So I had been really not running the cushion in the 3-4 end. I was kind of eased down because the cushion was pretty gnarly and I didn't want to risk it. Well, after I thought I saw him, I moved back up and ran it for most of the rest of the race there. But I didn't see the 5 to go and I didn't see the 2 to go. So I'm like, man, this race just lasting forever, Well, then all of a sudden you get the white, and it's just one of those things where you've got to run the best laps you can run, whether you're in traffic or not. And the nice thing about the other night was, sometimes you'll get a car that feel wise, from lap 1 to lap 30, it just really feels like it drops off where, early in the race, you're almost on autopilot, but by the end of the race, you really got to stand up in the seat and drive the thing hard. Where the other night there, other than having to be technical on the cushion, like, the last third of the corner in the 3-4 end, our car really didn't fade a lot at all, which, I moved the wing some, and that, seemed to help, but it's like I told Mike Birkin and Jeff Ward, the mechanic and car owner respectively, when I got back, I said, the hard part was done. I just had to go make 30 laps without messing up.
Now, you talked about trading slide jobs. That's something I enjoy watching sprint cars do. Yep. Diving down deep, sliding up in front of the guy. When you're trading slide jobs with somebody, is that fun for you or is that frustrating for you?
I guess it depends on if you're the guy sliding and getting slid.
Slider, slidey.
Yeah, right. It can be a lot of fun if you're passing cars. And I've had people 2016, I think. I was racing for Ray Marshall. We ended up in the dash at the Doty, I believe. It might have just been a regular all race. I'm not sure, but it was at Attica. And I ran pretty good the first half of the race, but then we were kind of fading. And late in the race, Dale Blaney's still in the muddy car, working with George. Here he comes. He slides me into turn 3, and I see him coming, so I turn back underneath him, drop down off of 4, and I pass him back. Well, his car's getting better as the race goes on. My car's getting a little worse, and he's just working me. So the next lap he slides me a little deeper into turn 3. Not like he didn't use me up, but the completion of the slide job happened a little later around the corner. And so by this time I know what's coming, so I drop down, I pass him again. So headed into turn 1, the third lap, man, I really grab a handful of cushion and try to get as big a run as I can, because I know if he clears me the third lap, it's going to be later in the corner and I'm going to have no defense. And sure enough, here he comes. He clears me 2/3, 3/4 of the way around the 3-4 end. And at that point, my momentum was just disrupted enough, and he had enough drive. He just drove off. But it's things like that, just racing back and forth with the guy. Sometimes, obviously you want to win, you want to have a good night, but it's just fun to go race with people, because maybe next week you come out on the other end of things.
Gotcha. So what going into this weekend, you got the World of Outlaws coming into town, as you mentioned, tomorrow night. Do you do anything differently to prepare?
Not really. In the past, racing for Al Davis, racing for Ray Marshall, I've been maybe more consistently successful and maybe had a bit more confidence leading into when the All-Stars or when the Outlaws came to town. Obviously, running as well as we did last week, that's probably kind of buoyed our confidence as a team. But we got a little dinged up on Saturday at Fremont, so we had to take the car and get a little bit of repair done on the front end. And sometimes you get them repaired and they're the exact same car when you get them back, and sometimes you get them repaired and they're a little bit different personality, or just the way the car feels with the setup inputs that it needs. So we're going to kind of put on it, provided when we get there the racetrack conditions are similar, something similar to what we had last week, and try to get a good qualifying time, because that's far and away the biggest condition with it's big with the All-Stars with a 4 invert, but the Outlaws with them starting to heat races heads up, if you don't qualify well, you're pretty much buried. So that's I would say that's the biggest thing.
So what do you think your chances are of back-to-back wins at Attica then?
Shoo.
You think you have to work a little harder this weekend?
Oh, certainly. Mike, the fellow that's helping me, he's had some stuff come up, so he won't be able to make it tomorrow. So unfortunately, yours truly is going to be the driver and the guy making the setup decisions. So usually there's not a worse possible alternative than that. I'm going to try to go tomorrow and not outthink myself. But, the problem with that is I'll go and I'll sit in the stage lane and I'll think, okay, if I go out and the car's good, these are the changes I need to make for the next time we hit the racetrack. But if the car's not good, these are the changes I need to make. And, after a while you get thinking about too many numbers and changes and things. And it's
you need to focus on just driving.
Exactly. There's some people that can wrench and drive, but I've never been one of those people. So I just want to go tomorrow and try to concentrate on the driving, and I'll probably talk to Mike on the phone a little bit, and however tomorrow falls out, we'll go with we want to do well and we're confident, but we're not going to go with a ton of expectation to the point where you put too much pressure on yourself and ruin things at some point during the night.
Now, are you running for the track championship then this year?
I probably won't. I changed jobs here over the off season, and I worked kind of an oddball schedule. So after after the second week of August, it's going to be pretty hard for me to, I'll have to do shift trades and things like that if I want to race. So probably after that point in the year, we'll just pick and choose some. But
even if you're on top of the points at that,
I was going to say.
Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Gotcha. Well, what about next year? Looking ahead, keep running 410s.
Oh, yeah, we'll see how the year pans out, and guess as long as we can keep Jeff happy, and he was pretty happy the other night. Maybe we'll keep it rolling,
All right. Well, good luck tomorrow night. We're hoping that you get some back-to-back wins here.
Yeah.
Hey, like I told you before, I don't know about the whole setup part, but I can guarantee I'll be on the gas.
Well, maybe those repairs, you said it might change things. Maybe it'll make things faster where you don't need to do anything.
Right. Let's hope.
Again, I don't know if Caleb heard early on, but our guests have a remarkable record of winning after the next show after they've been on.
Yeah, no pressure.
Well, I'll tell you
so
what.
Don't disappoint us, dude.
Yeah, if we can go pull her off tomorrow, I'll buy you guys all the Big D's pizza.
Sounds like a deal.
Whether there's 43 cars or not.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate the time, Caleb. Get that car fixed, and we look forward to seeing you out there tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks,
See ya.
Caleb.
There you go. Caleb Griffith, winner last week at Attica. Going to try and make it 2 in a row. This time the World of Outlaws is going to be in town.
Pretty cool. How come you get the big screen?
I don't, because he left and it decided to put me there.
Oh, there.
I need to be over there so that way when I look at you, it looks like I'm looking at you over the screen too. Yeah, that's why you're in the number 1 seat there.
Yes.
Our weekend Big D Pizza racing menu. It's a pretty big menu this weekend.
It is.
Yeah, lots going on. Tomorrow night we have, and as soon as we're done with this, we will be checking out Ryan Weekman in our weekend weather pit stop. Oh, and we also have a quick Hammer Down hotline
Really?
to play back.
All
Yeah,
right.
and it's for you actually.
Ooh.
Lima Land Motorsports Park tomorrow night. It's the Run for the Rabbit featuring NRA Sprint Invaders, UMP Modifieds, Thunderstocks. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:30. General admission for adults $12 there. Attica, of course, we mentioned it's the Kistler Engines Classic Night featuring the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. 410s and the 305s in action. 305s will be running for $1,000 to win. Gates open at 3 o'clock tomorrow at Attica. Racing at 7:45. Adult general admission $32 for that World of Outlaw show. Saturday we have Flat Rock Speedway. We'll be having R&M Recycling Kids Day. Kids 12 and under. No, kids under 12 get in free. Plus get a free hot dog. They're going to have an Enduro 250, the figure 8, street stocks, TKC carts, and a kids Power Wheels derby.
Ooh, demo derby.
I didn't say demo derby, just said derby.
Oh, I'm sure
It's probably, yeah. Gates open at 1:30. Yeah, don't forget Flat Rock's still starting.
A little early.
Going with the early starts for the month of May here. So Gates opening at 1:30, racing at 4, general admission. Actually, I don't know how much general admission is for that. But if you're under 12, it's free. So there you go. Oakshade in action. Hopefully, we're going to get this season started out there. Bill Reckner Memorial, late model sportsman, Dominator Superstocks, Compacts. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission for adults just $14. Fremont Speedway on Saturday night as well. Crown Battery Night featuring the AFCS 410 Sprints, the AFCS 305 Sprints, trucks, all back in action. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission for adults $15. Sandusky Speedway. We'll be hosting the Ohio Wheelman Series, Street Stocks, the CRS Trucks, Pure Stocks, Renegades, and Beginner Stocks. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission $15 in Sandusky. Montpelier Motor Speedway over there in Montpelier, Indiana. 5-in-1 show featuring the UMP Modified Super Stocks, Street Stocks, Hornets, and the Dirt Truck Series, Dirt Track Truck Series.
Right.
Gates open at 3 over there in Montpelier, racing at 7:22 p.m. $12 general admission for adults over there. And Eldora in action this weekend, as a matter of fact. It's Family Fireworks Night, number 1, featuring the NRA 360 Sprints, Modifieds, Eldora Stocks. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:30. Adult general admission, $10 there. I believe Craig's running Eldora Saturday night. Then he's going to go to Toledo on Sunday. I still have that, yeah. So Toledo Speedway in action Sunday. It's Clean Harbors Safety Clean Kids Day Autograph Day. Kids under 12 free, plus they get a free hot dog, just like the night before at Flat Rock. So if you don't want to feed your kids for 2 consecutive meals, take them to Flat Rock Friday night and Toledo Speedway on Sunday afternoon. Gates will open at 11:30 for that. They're going to have the Midwest Modifieds doing the Glass City 50, late model sportsman in action. And that's where Craig Dippen's going to be making his asphalt debut. Has he run asphalt before? Or is that going to be his asphalt debut?
I think he's run Sandusky for the Hangover race.
But that's in a dirt car.
That's a different deal.
He's actually has a late model sportsman.
Correct.
Interesting. Well, let's see how he does with the guys that have some experience.
The last I talked to him, he was looking for a set of radios. So if anybody has the 2-way radios that would be required, give Craig a call.
Factory stocks also in action, so 3 classes there. Toledo Speedway, as I mentioned, gates open at 11:30, racing at 2. Adult general admission $21 for that show at Toledo Speedway. Other series action this weekend, as we mentioned, the World of Outlaws is going to be at Attica Friday, and then Sharon Speedway on Saturday. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, they'll be in Iowa at 300 Raceway on Friday and 34 Raceway on Saturday. the World of Outlaw Case Late Models, Bloomsburg Fairgrounds Raceway tonight, Marion Center Raceway on Friday, Port Royal Speedway on Saturday, Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions. As we mentioned earlier when we were talking to Justin, they're going to be at Wilmot Raceway tomorrow night, Plymouth Dirt Track Saturday, and Angel Park Speedway on Sunday. Cup Series is going to be the All-Star Race. That's this weekend. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be at Texas Motor Speedway Sunday night, 8 o'clock on FS1. And I think there's some preliminary events before that. Like
that means
6
that
or
next
something.
weekend's Memorial Weekend.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Coca-Cola 600 coming up then.
And Indy.
Oh, yeah. That's a big race, too.
Oh, yeah.
The Xfinity Series will also be at Texas Motor Speedway this weekend for the Texas 250. That will be Saturday at 1:30 p.m. That'll be on FS1. And the Truck Series also in action for the Speedy Cash 220, Texas Motor Speedway. That's tomorrow night, Friday night, 8:30 on FS1. And now, how about we check out that weekend weather pit stop with our good buddy over there at W2OL 11, Ryan Weekman, to find out what the weather situation is for this weekend.
Here is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Looking hot Friday down at Limaland and Attica with races in the evenings. Afternoon highs are going to be in the low 90s. Still going to be very warm and muggy by race time. Almost feeling like midsummer for those. Saturday gets a little more interesting. Let's talk about Flat Rock, Oakshade, Fremont, Sandusky, Montpelier, and Eldora. We're going to have the risk for some pop-up thunderstorms, especially as we get later into the evening hours. So we'll have to watch those closely. During the day, it's going to be warm. It's going to be muggy. Those showers and thunderstorms more likely to develop near and after 4 p.m., which I realize pretty much puts all the races at jeopardy. Again, later into the evening, chances increase. And Sunday over at Toledo Speedway, I think the rain is out of here by then. That's an afternoon start time. We should see temperatures falling down. Pretty comfortable, a little bit muggy. Temperatures will probably be in the 70s there. For WTOL 11, I'm meteorologist Ryan Weekman.
Yeah, so it's another one of those weekends.
If you don't have the WTOL weather app, make sure you get it. Ryan will keep you up to date.
Yes. And make sure to follow, if the weather does look a little questionable, make sure to keep an eye on social media or track websites.
Absolutely.
Wherever you're planning on going to. If you want to call, leave a message, be on the show, there's your Hammer Down hotline number, 419-318-3081. That's 419-318-3081. We did get a call after our last week's show. Actually, voice might sound familiar as this particular person was on the show last week.
Hey, Scott, John Nida here. Thanks again for having me on the show. I really enjoyed it, Scott. I wanted to give you a call. Please tell Ron I apologize for stepping on him. I could hear him fine at the very beginning, and then I kind of lost him in the middle. There are times I don't think I could hear him at all. And then all of a sudden near the end, I could hear him good again. I didn't realize he was talking, and I was opening my mouth. Once again, Scott, thank you. Good luck, and we'll be talking to you. Bye now.
John, if you're listening, no big deal, my friend.
And we figured out why. Apparently there were some issues with the headphone adapter over there.
Yep.
So
the headphone adapter had a black
black eye.
black insulator on it, and we went with the solid gold ones. Boy, is that better.
There you go. Next week on the show, we may be talking to John Bailey. I got to
hope so.
Circle back with him early Monday morning, and maybe we'll get some more weekend winners on the show again next week. And since I don't know who that is yet,
no,
I can't tell you who that is, but we'll figure out something. It'll be fun. In any case, we'll be back same bat time, same bat channel, 7 o'clock Thursday night Eastern, and yeah. And thanks again to our guest tonight, Justin Peck. We appreciate him coming on. Caleb Griffith, Alan Nylander for the shirts.
Yeah.
Who else do we have to thank?
Heather Nylander.
And
thank you for the shirts.
Yes, that too.
If you're up already in the morning.
Thanks to our sponsors once again, Oakshade Raceway, Big D's Pizza, Ryan Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, and Dominator Race Products. Make sure to like us on Facebook, Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. You follow us on YouTube, too. We're on there. Search Hammer Down Racing Report. We're on there. Listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, on all of them. I think, was there like 78 of them or something? We're on all 94 of them. I'm just making up numbers.
Whatever it is, we're there.
Check out our website, hammerdownracingreport.com, for if you want to become an advertiser. We got advertiser information on there, shows. If you can't figure out how to get to Spotify, iHeartRadio, or any of these other things, you can listen to shows right on our website.
I wonder if people are traveling. I wonder if we're on Sirius XM.
Do they have a podcast channel?
Well, I don't know.
That I don't know either. Make sure to rate and review us, share us with your friends. Only rate and review us, though, if you're going to give us good marks. If you're not, then
we don't want to hear from you.
Don't waste your time. We're not worth your time in that case, right? Absolutely. Again, give us a call on the Hammer Down hotline, 419-318-3081. And that's going to put the wraps on this show. Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer. Also our contributors, John Young, Matt Swander, Doug Dock, Bob Stajak. Yeah.
It was good being back in the studio, Scott.
Yeah, we missed you last week.
It was really tough on the phone. Didn't enjoy that at all.
Well, good. I'm glad you're back in the studio. Maybe we can convince John to come down from Adrian.
Maybe.
In the studio. I'll have to talk him into that. All right. We're out. We'll see you next Thursday.
7 o'clock.
You can be back in the studio again?
I'm planning on it.
All right. Bye-bye.
See y'all.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.